With the ever-increasing presence of artificial intelligence, sometimes it can be hard to determine what's real and what's not, especially online. And while AI can be super helpful technologically speaking, we have to be careful to not let it overtake our personal interactions and goals.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where best-selling author Tara Gooch can help. She's a two-time best-selling author, a public speaker known for her transformative talks on leadership, gratitude, and confidence. And today, we're talking with Tara herself all about authentic leadership in the age of AI. Tara, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
We hear a lot about AI. It's really kind of becoming very synonymous with our everyday life. So I'm really interested to kind of learn about how we remain authentic in this age of AI. But before we dive into that, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, just so our viewers can become a little more familiar?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name's Tara Gooch. I'm a two-time best-selling author, TEDx speaker. I also have a top global podcast.
That's fantastic. So you're busy.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about how you became this person and got into this role. Because I was looking at your website, and you used to struggle a little bit with public speaking, correct?
It was my all-time biggest fear.
Okay.
Really?
What happened then? What was the switch for you?
You know, the moment changed when I stepped on stage for the very first time and realized that it was actually a part of my purpose.
Interesting.
Okay, so you utilized maybe something that scared you to kind of step into your power and become, which is really very incredible.
Yeah.
We talked about AI in the intro, and you know, when we are in our professional roles or maybe in our households, we want to be leaders in whatever capacity we're in. How do you do that though when you've got AI that's kind of, I think, trying to wedge its way into all facets of our life?
I agree. And leadership is at a really interesting crossroads right now. You know, on one hand, we have AI technology that is changing the way we work and live. You know, and people are more technologically connected, right?
Yeah.
Than we have ever been before in human history. But even though we're more technologically connected, people are feeling this increased sense of disconnection and loneliness. So I think that even though we have this AI technology, it actually doesn't have to compete with human connection.
Yeah.
And in fact, the foundation of what great leadership is remains the same.
Right.
And that's why I developed my GRASP method, GRASP. It's a simple 5-step framework to help leaders navigate these challenges with confidence and clarity.
I love that.
Let's talk about leadership now. There's a lot of qualities that make up a leader, right? One of which would be gratitude. Why is gratitude such a leadership superpower?
Well, and that's the first letter, right? G.
Yeah.
It stands for gratitude. So leadership, when we approach leadership with gratitude, it's actually a leadership multiplier. And it's as simple as starting every conversation or meeting with an expression of thankful acknowledgement. And there's science behind this. So gratitude isn't just a feel-good emotion or buzzword, it's that leadership multiplier. And the reason is because when we approach a conversation with gratitude, what actually happens physiologically in the brain of the other person, it goes into the base of the brain, then it goes through our limbic system, and then eventually goes to our prefrontal cortex. So this means that anything we say to somebody is felt first.
Wow.
This is important for leaders to understand and acknowledge so that it can take that person from either fight or flight mode to actually being receptive to the message you're about to tell them.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I feel like when you approach it with that gratitude, it's well received. You know, people are just inherently more open to the conversation that's about to be had. Tara, I have to ask, in terms of leadership, how people can gain confidence and connection in these roles. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. You know, 85% of the world's population, this is according to Psychology Today, actually suffers from low self-esteem. That's something that I mentioned in my TEDx talk. And I think that's really eye-opening, right? So if 85% of the world's global population is feeling this way, we know that leaders are feeling this way too. And if you're not confident as a leader, people don't feel that you are competent in your ability to solve problems and deliver needed solutions.
Right.
Okay.
Here's a question I have before we wrap this up. When we think about leaders, one thing that I think about is this person authentic, right? Are you genuine?
Yes.
Can you talk to me a little bit about how we can lead authentically in a world that's just really, really loud right now?
such a good point. You know, with AI technology, there's, you know, deep fakes. We're not really even sure what's real or what's not.
Right.
But I think the most important thing to acknowledge is that, you know, people don't follow gadgets, algorithms, or technology. And even if we have the best strategies in tech, without that connection that we're talking about, it's going to fail. It's going to fall flat. So it's so important right now, more than ever, because people are feeling this sense of disconnection and loneliness, that we really tap into this authenticity as leaders to really bring people in and help them, you know, come up so that they don't feel this disconnection from their leadership team, from their company, from themselves.
Right.
They feel like they're going to be heard, they're going to be helped, and
That's
it's going
right.
to be that genuine, authentic interaction. Tara, this has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much for your time. I wish we had more time to dive a little bit deeper into the topic.
Yeah.
But where can we go online to learn a little bit more about you? Do you have a website or social media?
Yes, visit me on my website, TaraLafonGooch.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm very active on there as well, so feel free to connect.
Where can we find these books?
These are on Amazon.
Okay.
Easy, everyone knows that.
There we go. Do we just type in your name and it'll come up, basically,
Yep.
I'm assuming? Okay.
Fantastic.
Very nice stuff right there. Tara LaFon Gooch, thank you so much for joining us. A lot of great
Thank you.
information today.
Yeah.
This was great.
Wonderful.